Hey guys, welcome back. It's Mr. Vince, and today I'll be talking about some of the 2024 winter update. I obviously don't want to make the video too long, but the 2024 winter update has released about 4 hours ago, so it's about 8:16 by the time I'm making this video. So I'll try to explain as quick as I can, trying to point out some of the main parts of the update. So let's get right into it. Firstly, we got the brand new winter map. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to be honest, it actually looks very nice. You can see that we got a brand new snow material, so it looks way better than last year's snow. And we also got ourselves snow-topped trees, buildings, bushes, pines, etc. So lots of things have been snow-topped, which is actually really cool in my opinion. And there are certain components, part of the map, that have been covered in ice, though unfortunately the lakes are not covered in icebergs. Speaking of which, the icebergs are still part of the winter map, so the icebergs are available to mess with, and because the icebergs are present in the winter map, the iceberg trek is also back. But this island is not covered in snow because it is planned to be removed very soon. We also got the release of Season 24, which is our 24th new season ever since the 2020 winter update. And the season includes some pretty cool looking prizes, with the level 10 vehicle being the Stratos, aka the Storm Rider, and you have about 66 days to complete the season and reach level 10, but by the time this video gets released it will be lower, so please keep that in mind. In addition to the update, rolling has been improved and has received a bunch of changes to prevent some issues from being able to glide yourself up in the air or whatever else can happen. You can also now roll backwards because of the changes that were made to rolling, and because a new Roblox animation has been introduced, specifically this falling animation as you can see here. There is currently a glitch where you can glide yourself on the floor, but it is kind of hard to do with certain avatars. So yeah, the Youngblood Happier Jump emote still works as of today for some reason, so that's kind of weird, but okay. And there is no code part of the update, unfortunately, so that kind of stinks. With that being said, this part of the prison roof has been extended. The visitors building roof has been raised, so it is harder to escape now. Though you can still practically get on top of the roof if you're lucky. But for the rest of the other changes, I am going to play as a cop so that I don't have to worry about escaping the prison and such. So firstly, we got a brand new vehicle called the Tanker. The Tanker is 80,000 cash. It spawns at both airports. And the Tanker is the first vehicle in Jailbreak that will explode upon being disabled. So if I go ahead and disable the vehicle by shooting at it, you can see that the Tanker will explode, and any player close to the Tanker will be affected by the explosion. And after the Tanker is restored back to normal, it will instantly despawn. So even if you try to drive the Tanker again, it will just despawn. As you can see, the Tanker will despawn, and yep, it did. Now, if I go ahead and go back to the garage and spawn in another Tanker, you can see that we also got an action button. If you press the action button once, the explosion will be delayed and will make the Tanker explode after a few seconds. Be careful, unless if you just want to mess with your friends. This is also a good way to make fire, so there you go. Additionally, we also got ourselves the Iceborne. It is a new vehicle that was added. It is limited and will be about 675,000 cash, but currently the vehicle can only be obtained once the giant iceberg over at Rising City has the cash counter reached to 0. At the moment right now it is at 19 billion cash, so we have to save up 20 billion cash for the giant iceberg to melt. Every 4 billion cash reached, the iceberg will get smaller. So as you can see, we got 19 billion, 586 million, 65,208 cash to raise. But yeah, so over time the iceberg will get smaller and then it will actually end up melting. So just wanted to throw it out there. C4s have also received some improvements. So for one, you can now make vehicles take damage from C4s. So if I go ahead and place down a C4 on the Scorpion and I explode the C4, you can see that it dealt 20 damage to the Scorpion. C4s will no longer deal as much damage to players behind some walls as they used to. So that's actually a nice little change. Additionally, there is another change that was made to C4s, and it is actually a bug fix, but C4s will now correctly work on terrain. So they were broken before, but they now work properly on terrain, which is pretty good in my opinion. Also, some vehicles have received some adjustments, so the Mustang's textures and hyperchromes will no longer be upside down, and the Dune Buggy's handling has been fixed. The Stallion suspension has been raised, the Parisian and Venom engines have been lowered in volume, and a couple other vehicles have received a few improvements. Shell Classic and Arachnid's Nitro will no longer look as cursed, so if I go ahead and spawn in the Arachnid, you will see that the rocket fuel will work correctly now, so that's actually pretty neat. And we also got ourselves Radiant Polar Blue. Radiant Polar Blue can be obtained by getting nuked as part of Season 24, and I believe we're going to be able to get this until the June 2025 update, which we won't get for about 6 months. So stay tuned for that update. Now, in addition to the update, there were a couple other bug fixes that were made, including some exploit patches for chat. Basically, you could turn yourself into a system chat message, but that has now been fixed. And there were a few other changes I can't really exactly mention because this video will take longer than usual, but console players have received a lot of improvements, so you can now press D-pad right to open up the mini-map and make it a full-size map. You can also now press D-pad left to open up the radio, which was not actually a thing before, I don't think. But in addition, you can now roll while not moving, which is just a nice change for those playing on console, especially if you just ragdoll. And if you ragdoll, well, it seems like there isn't really anything too different, but I believe that the anti-cheat will not really act upon while ragdolling as it used to. And I believe helicopters have also been slightly adjusted. So if you get off of a helicopter, I don't think you're going to be affected as much as you used to. You still will, but I don't think they're going to be that crazy. So, yeah, they still are. It's just that I don't think you would necessarily be directly on top of the heli. I think you're just going to be pushed a little bit more out of the heli when you exit it. So it's harder to be affected by it. So that's kind of a nice change. And yeah, with that being said, that's pretty much most of the update explained pretty quickly. I didn't want to kind of go crazy with the update because it would take too long. But there were actually a few other additions, including the time command making its return, though you can't actually abuse it for, well, I guess you could say the infinite money glitch, because it was actually a glitch that caused a rollback. I was one of the few people who were affected by the rollback. The soccer ball turned into a snowball, so this is what it looks like. Kind of cool. And the snowy weather has returned, alongside new sounds for snow. And with the new auroras, they are harder to see during nighttime for some reason, but I think Asimo is going to try to fix that pretty soon. But with that being said, that is pretty much it for the 2024 winter update explained in this video. I didn't want to go crazy or anything, but if you guys did enjoy, please feel free to leave a like. And as always, my name is Mr. Vince. I hope you all have a great day today. And the full Discord changelog will be in the description. It'll take you to the wiki. Make sure you select the latest update, which is 2024 winter update. And I'll see you guys in the next video.